Hello, Army. Welcome back to my channel. You weren't supposed to notice this, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Right in the middle of what should have been a perfect OT7 moment, Kim Taehyung suddenly stands alone. No laughter, no interaction, just silence around him. For a split second, everything feels off. At first, fans dismissed it. Just timing, just coincidence. But then, Jungkook reacts. Not loudly, not dramatically, just one subtle look. And that 1 second changed everything. Now, ARMY is divided. Was it concern? Or something deeper no one is talking about? Because that single moment might reveal more than the entire live. Watch closely. The room itself didn't change, that's what made it unsettling. The lights were still warm. The instruments rested quietly in the background. Laughter from seconds ago still lingered in the air. Everything looked normal. Exactly how an OT7 live should feel. Except, it didn't. Right there, in the middle of it all, Taehyung stood still. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way that demanded attention. Just still. Around him, the others shifted naturally, talking, laughing, adjusting positions without thinking. But he didn't move with them. For a brief moment, it felt like the group moved forward, and he didn't follow. It lasted only seconds. Too short to call obvious. Too real to ignore. And that's when it happened. Across the room, Jungkook noticed. You wouldn't catch it unless you were looking for it. He didn't freeze. He didn't interrupt. But his eyes, just for a fraction of a second, shifted and locked onto Taehyung. There was something in that look. Not confusion, not surprise. Something heavier. The kind of understanding that doesn't come from what you see, but from what you feel. Then, just as quickly, he looked away. The moment passed. Or at least, it pretended to. Because Taehyung smiled right after. That soft, effortless smile he's known for. The kind that smooths everything over. He stepped forward again, rejoining the flow like nothing had happened. And for most viewers, that was enough. Just a harmless pause. Just a misstep. But not for everyone. Some noticed the delay. Some noticed the distance. And some noticed Jungkook. Because that look didn't match something normal. It felt like a reaction. Not to what happened on camera, but to something behind it. And that's where the tension begins. Because moments like this don't exist in isolation. Not in a group like BTS. A group that has spent years moving as one. When that rhythm breaks, even for a second, it raises a question. Was it coincidence? Or something that slipped through? The live continued. Energy picked back up. Voices overlapped. Laughter returned. But something had already shifted. Subtle for some. Unforgettable for others. And Jungkook, he didn't look back again. Not obviously, but the restraint itself said enough. Because sometimes the loudest reaction is the one that never fully happens. As the live went on, the imbalance didn't disappear. It adjusted. Taehyung adapted quickly. He re-entered conversations at the right moments. Laughed at the right cues. Blended back in almost perfectly. Almost too perfectly. Because when someone tries that hard to blend in, it means they notice the silence too. Across from him, Jungkook became quieter. Not silent, but careful. Measured. Like every reaction was being filtered before it showed. And then, it happened again. Taehyung spoke. A simple comment. Nothing unusual. The kind that should have been picked up instantly. But it wasn't. For half a second, no one responded. The conversation moved. But not with him. That gap returned. Small. Invisible. But real. This time, Jungkook didn't look away. His head tilted slightly. His eyes shifted again, sharper now. This wasn't hesitation anymore. It was recognition. He saw it. Not just the moment, but the pattern. For a split second, it looked like he might step in. His posture shifted. His lips parted slightly. A decision forming in real time. But then, someone else spoke. Louder. The energy surged, and the moment collapsed. Jungkook leaned back, the decision undone. Taehyung smiled again, and everything continued. But this time the tension stayed. It lingered, in pauses that felt slightly too long, in glances that flickered just enough to notice. Taehyung began checking, subtly, carefully, making sure he wasn't out of sync again. And Jungkook noticed all of it. That was the shift. He stopped reacting to the group and started reacting to Taehyung. Not openly, never obviously, but consistently. Every movement, every pause, followed. Just a second later, this wasn't coincidence anymore. It was awareness. Minutes passed. The live moved towards its ending. No confrontation. No clear moment. Just fragments. Pieces that meant nothing alone, but something together. Then came the final stretch. The natural ending. Thank yous. Goodbyes. Everyone shifting closer together. This time, Taehyung moved first. He stepped forward, placed himself at the center, deliberately, before any gap could happen again. Jungkook sighed immediately, and this time, his expression changed. Just for a second. Something raw, something unreadable, before it disappeared behind a small smile. Because he understood. That step wasn't just movement. It was prevention. Taehyung wasn't waiting to be included anymore. He was making sure he couldn't be left out. The live ended like it always does. Smiles, waves, fading screen. Normal, clean, complete. But the feeling it left behind wasn't. Because nothing was confirmed. Nothing was said. And yet, that single thread of tension refused to disappear. It stayed. In the silence after the screen went black. In the replays. In the slowed down clips. Because sometimes, the most unsettling moments aren't the ones that explode. They're the ones that almost did. And the question isn't what happened. It's why it felt like it mattered so much. When technically, nothing happened at all.